What's going on, everybody? My name is Jack Kelly, host of Point to the Spot, a U.S.-based podcast focused on the world of football. Joining me today, as always, my entirely bonkers friend, Reed Hammond. Reed, how are you?
Oh, good, yeah.
Well, he's awfully chipper today.
Yeah,
It's because he had a good Earth Day celebration yesterday.
I did.
The third voice you may have heard, a future presidential candidate. Ball for Prez 2020. I can't stand Donald Trump's America. Andrew Ball. Andrew, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jack?
I'm tired, man. It was a good weekend.
It was a long week.
It was a long weekend. Lots of things going on, including lots of football in all of the cups and leagues, and yes, anything you can think of. Shall we dive in?
Sure.
We shall.
We'll start at Wembley, where Tottenham Hotspur's love for their future home continued to struggle in a 4-2 loss to Chelsea in the FA Cup semifinal.
Except they didn't struggle.
Yeah, they played
They
well.
outplayed Chelsea.
Got a bit unlucky. Andrew, do you wanna give us a little bit about this match?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like, sometimes in football you play better than the other team and still lose 4-2, and that's what happened Saturday.
That old saying.
That old saying. But I mean, like, Spurs were so. First off, I think that Mauricio Pochettino got a lot of flack for kind of a weird formation. He went with Sung Hyun Min as a wingback, which was strange. But Ben Davies picked up a knock, so he really had no other option. And not starting Kyle Walker raised a few eyebrows, but I thought Kieran Trippier was fine. So it's a lot of Spurs fans are looking for someone to blame. A lot of people are blaming the ref because Victor Moses went down very easily on that penalty. It was kind of a dive. It was also a bad challenge from Son, so I don't really fault the ref that much. But at the end of the day, I mean, Spurs outplayed Chelsea for most of this match. I mean, Moussa Dembele and Victor Wanyama were dominant in the midfield, as always, seemingly. And it was just a couple missteps on the defensive end, with Chelsea being extraordinarily clinical. And, I mean, a couple world-class goals from Willian and Nemanja Matic that, just like, what you going to do on some level? It's too bad this couldn't be a final. I think that, these are obviously by far the two best teams in England this year. But Spurs fans, Spurs players should have their heads held high. I think a lot of people are going to write off this season as less than ideal given their lack of silverware, unless they take advantage of their scant chance to catch Chelsea in the league. But for the past two seasons, and this is something that you could rarely, if ever, say in Spurs history, for large chunks of the year, they had been the best team in England, I think is fair to say. And, whether that's borne out in the table at the end of the year is of course in question. I think Liverpool's loss today helps their chances immensely at finishing second. But, the future is still bright for Spurs, and to all the Spurs fans out there, yesterday's result was a tough pill to swallow, but future's still bright. Hang in there. Silverware will come, I believe.
Soon enough.
You can only hope.
Continuing on to the second semifinal today, pitted another North London club, Arsenal, against Manchester City. Of course, Arsenal had a strangely distinct advantage, being that Wembley is, a mile away from the Emirates. So even though they do separate ticket sales, it always does feel like a home game when they get to play there. Also a little different because it's a lot longer of a journey from Manchester than it is from Chelsea. Game was kind of the tale of two halves. City dominant in the first half, unable to take care of their chances, had well over 70% of the possession. But in the second half, Arsenal came out and looked good. They really, gave it to City, controlled the game well. I mean, there's things to be said about Aguero's goal. It was terrible defending from Monreal. The fact that he wasn't goal side of him in the opposition's half, where you can't play an offside trap. That in mind, Aguero did Aguero things, and that finish was clinical. Monreal made up for it though. Wonderful ball in from Oxlade-Chamberlain on the volley that Monreal scored, and he won. Oxlade-Chamberlain got the man of the match honors, and deservedly so. I think he was the best player on the pitch today. And of course, Alexis Sanchez finding a way, scrappy little goal after the ball bounced around in the box to give the Gunners the lead in the 101st minute. And they just kind of saw the game out from there. Hector Bellerin, also known as Riff Raff, made an appearance with his new haircut.
Not good.
I don't know. This is like, I was cautiously optimistic on the Thursday pod about Arsenal's chances. I said I had the feeling they were going to win. They got it done. Generally play pretty well at Wembley to get it done. I don't know. Do I like our chances against Chelsea? No. Last time we played Chelsea at Wembley, we beat them though. Like, I mean, meh.
Chelsea are a little better though than that when that happened.
Yeah, that's true. Plus, the Community Shield in the FA Cup could not be more different.
So, Jack, I have a question for you. If Arsenal managed to finish 4th and win the FA Cup, do you count the season as a success?
I wouldn't call it a success. Well, okay, success in the sense that where Arsenal was 3 weeks ago versus where they would be if they finished in the top 4 and won the cup. Like, sure, whatever. It's nice to win trophies. Do I think it's a success? No, because I mean it's the same story. It crashed on the round 16 of the Champions League. Failed to really have a title challenge. I don't know. It's not like anything crazy. At the same time, though, like to call it a disappointment would also be a little bit of a stretch because it'd be the 22nd consecutive season you qualify for the Champions League. You won the domestic cup, get to play in the Community Shield. I don't know. Decent shout.
Okay, hold on. Let me interject real quick. With that being said, is it a disappointment if you don't make Champions League? Like, is that enough to pull the trigger if you win another FA Cup and don't make Champions League? What does that mean?
Oh, I mean, I think that would be a much bigger deal.
And I'm telling you, I think that's far more likely to be the case than you making Champions League. Like, I genuinely don't think you will.
Liverpool
genuinely don't think Arsenal will.
Liverpool dropped points today, and Arsenal has 3 games in hand on them.
Except you have to win all those games to pull.
Yeah,
up.
you have to win every one of those games, and Arsenal are notoriously poor down the stretch.
Actually, they generally finish the season fairly strong. It's about January that dooms the Arsenal's title challenge.
No, but we think about it last season, there were just those little capitulations at the end that just kind of wrote off the season. Not mathematically, and you ended up finishing above Spurs, but there were little drop points that just felt like that was it.
Well, the reason Arsenal didn't win the title last year is because nobody else could fucking beat Leicester but Arsenal.
Yeah, which is true.
Nobody did them any fucking favors the whole season.
To say that's the only reason they didn't win a title is just wrong.
But no, what I found far more
is why they didn't win the title.
It is true. What I found far more interesting was just how much Antonio Conte has affected the Premier League. The fact that we saw Arsenal playing 5 in the back, just because it feels like the only move to make at this point, is so like wild. You know what I mean?
I mean, they look good today.
Oh yeah, they look great in that 5 in the back or that 3 in the back, 2 wing back system. Like
much better than Burrow.
It's great. Like it makes so much sense, and
I think the personnel was a lot better today.
Yeah, it was still strange that they played Holding, Gabriel, and Koscielny across the back, but I guess that makes more sense because Holding and Gabriel can double more as outside backs than someone like Mustafi could. And I don't think there's any debate that Koscielny is a better defender than Mustafi.
Koscielny played very good in that, just kind of that cover role. It was very good to see. Because you got it really. I think Koscielny's his speed and his tactical awareness, maybe not technical organization, but his sense of positioning, it really allowed Paulista and Rob Holding to get forward and play in more of a stopper role, knowing that Koscielny was kind of hanging back. So you didn't really see Koscielny make any big tackles, or, like if you didn't see the team sheet, you'd be, you wouldn't be wrong to not know he was playing. But he kind of just gave Rob Holding especially the confidence, knowing that he had a veteran like Coach behind him. It's really, really good to see. That kid played out of his skin. I can't say it enough. Yeah,
Koscielny had a couple very big, aerial wins, but Rob Holding was very impressive. He had a couple times where he just came charging out of the back to really create some sort of an attack, which you don't really see in that 3 center back system. And he could have penned his name. He could have been in Arsenal lore forever if he wouldn't have fucking missed that 4 yards out on the header that Claudio Bravo would have had no chance on. But he did.
But again, more to praise Rob Holding. I think that, England has been looking for the heir apparent to guys like John Terry for some time, and it's not John Stones. And I'm not going to say that Rob Holding is, but like there hasn't, England have been poor developing pretty much every type of player the past decade, but especially center back.
Oh, less. Yeah.
I
wouldn't.
I think Holding has a future as an English international.
I don't know if he's
20.
I don't know if he's capped with the first team, but he's done good stuff with formerly the U21s, now the
Yeah.
U23s.
I don't know, Reed.
Well, no, like I wouldn't peg him as a John Terry. I would peg him. He's more of a Rio Ferdinand than he is a John Terry.
Okay, but like you know what I mean. I'm not saying like
England is very much aging out,
Comparisons.
and come next summer when
Yeah.
they're going to have to play the World Cup, they're
Copa Mundo.
gonna. I don't know. Someone like Holding could potentially
Yeah.
make that team.
that was more my point.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that he's gonna be the
England
next
is
John Terry.
really aging out if you think about it.
The golden generation is no more.
They're gonna struggle. Anyways, guys, let's take a short break. When we come back, we can talk about the Premier League more directly, and we'll talk about Liverpool falling on their faces yet again today to a small team. So enjoy the music. I can't believe they lost to Palace.
It's fucking
No.
amazing to Benteke. Sorry, I didn't mean to shit on ours.
Benteke played. He just scores, man.
I love all those salty Liverpool fans.
Going back to
pissed
Liverpool.
that Benteke celebrated.
Oh, pff.
Yeah,
After how Liverpool treated Christian Benteke, are you really getting mad?
Fuck, of course you celebrate, you idiots.
Yeah, that's fucking.
Oh my
funny.
God.
Who else did Liverpool got to play this year?
Their run-in is,
Pretty easy. Yeah. I would look at
which
it.
with Liverpool means they're going to like lose them all.
Yeah. Well, West Ham's gonna beat them.
Loki, we will.
Watch Burrow beat them on the last day to
I can see
stay up.
Southampton beating them in Anfield or They could drop points to Watford. Just some fun shit. They don't play again until the first.
Because they played so much.
Watch them drop points to Watford because they have to wait to play. And they have to go to Vicarage Road and they have to wait like 10 days to play a game. Watch them lose again. Be brutal.
Fuck Liverpool.
For real. Well, I mean, Arsenal doesn't necessarily have it easy. They've got at Spurs.
But Arsenal doesn't like systematically drop points to shitty
No,
teams as
yeah.
much as it does.
Yeah.
That being said,
they're
Crystal
the
Palace has been the best team in the Premier League over the last 5 match weeks.
You should
I
make that
know.
take. That's a good take. It's a bit of a hot take, but it's a good take.
They've won.
Spurs, I think, have been the best.
Yeah.
But after Spurs,
Oh, I don't know. Palace has beaten Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool in the span of 5 games.
That's true. That's fair. They have had a tougher fixture.
They beat Chelsea. And then lost to Southampton, beat Arsenal, drew with Leicester, beat Liverpool,
Although I don't know that they're
beat West Brom, beat Watford.
I don't know that they were the best team. Like they didn't outplay those teams in all those games.
Oh
So,
yeah, I mean
Yeah, they just happen to
1,
win.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've won 6 of their last 8.
yeah, that's bonkers. That's pretty.
All right, we're coming back in 5, 4, 3. Welcome back to part 2 of the show, guys. Even though Tottenham and Arsenal didn't feature in this weekend's Premier League fixtures, there were 6 games that were played, so a little bit to talk about. We'll get it started. Bournemouth, I don't know. Future Arsenal manager Eddie Howe really got the system going today because they played some free flowing football, beating Middlesbrough, who I think arguably is now the worst team in the Premier League. I would almost take Sunderland over Borough. 4-0. Goals from King, Afobe, Pugh, and Daniels. King can't stop scoring. He's at
Oh
it
yeah,
again.
soon to be Real Madrid's.
I think that the 3 times we've discussed him, he went from like West Ham's king to Liverpool's king to Real Madrid's king.
He's so good. He's unstoppable.
Joshua King is just in.
He scores when he wants.
He scores when he wants.
He does score when he wants.
I don't know. There's not too much to talk about this one. Borough is really fucking bad.
Borough are trash.
They're
Borough with
giving
10
up.
men
They're
are
giving up.
especially trash.
They are sure as shit
They gave
going
up.
down.
There's no man who is more hated on the South Coast than Gaston Ramirez, though. Like he had that awful fucking spell at Southampton where he just like had attitude problem after attitude problem, and he's just bad. He's a bad soccer player. I think is the take.
Hey, one team that did win this weekend, Hull City 2. Who'd they play? Watford 0. The Tigers stay out of the drop zone. 17th place, 33 points, 2 clear of 18th place Swansea. Unfortunately for them, Swansea did also win on Saturday. But I don't know. Do you think Hull is going to be able to hold out? They've got some winnable games on the rest of the way.
They do. They have a favorable. You don't want to say like easy because they are in 17th place for a reason, but like a favorable fixture list, and they showed really, really good mettle on Saturday. They were down a man for virtually the entire game. I mean, 25th minute, Umar Niasse got sent off, and they still managed to claw a win for goals from Lazar Markovic and St. Lucas. Yeah, I would feel a lot better if Swansea didn't get a result this weekend.
No kidding.
But yeah, I think Hull can nick some results. I still believe in them.
They play Sunderland. I don't know if anybody wants to play Palace right now. They still get to play Sunderland. They go to Southampton, and then they have to play Spurs on the last day of the season. I
think, real quick, one thing, that Umar Niasse suspension might be big. I mean,
Oh my! No, that's gonna get rescinded. There's no possible way that stands.
Okay, it's the FA. I never, you never know.
You're not totally wrong, but that was just like that's the kind of decisions that you see that get referees sent down to League One. Like that was so blatantly not a red card. Like I didn't know who that was for. Like unless he just like shouted some obscenity at the ref while he made that fair challenge. Like I don't know what that red card was. Oh my goodness,
it wasn't great. But I mean,
so bad.
The Southampton match, that's probably, aside from the Spurs game on the last day of the year, that's probably the toughest result they have left. It is the other tough game that you wouldn't expect them to win. So, I mean, if they could get something out of that, that'd be big, and having Niasse would definitely help because he's been in good form. Yeah, well, but I think we've spent enough time talking about this game.
And kind of blending these two matches together. Swansea also getting a win, 2-0 over Stoke. Swansea, though, not as favorable of a fixture list. They still have to play at United. They still have to play Everton. They still have to play West Brom. Of course, the fourth match is Sunderland. So I don't know if you're pegging to pick up points out of those. It's those, but I don't know. I think they've just run out of time. Reed, do you see any way back for them? Or are they gonna have to like sneakily beat United in Old Trafford or win at home against Everton?
No, I think they're gone. It's just it's really just down to whether or not it's going to be Hull or Swansea going down in that last spot. I think the bottom two are
stellar analysis from Reed Hammond.
Yeah, not my hottest take, but I think this table's more or less settled. Less, I think Arsenal could. Jack thinks Arsenal could get a Champions League spot, but.
Never say never.
Onward.
Arsenal's
never say never.
I will say on the last day of the year, Swans host West Brom. West Brom are going to have literally nothing to play for.
That's true.
So
yeah.
And Spurs also potentially could have second place wrapped up and also could have nothing to play for on the last day. So
I really believe Spurs can make it up. Can nick it. Like I think it's totally possible
that they'll
win the Premier League.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. That's like that is what I took from this weekend. Seeing them play Chelsea,
much hotter take.
Yeah, much hotter take. I think, especially with Chelsea having to play the FA Cup, with just another thing to keep in mind. I really think Spurs, because I was looking at the table, I was looking at the results last match week, and it seems like something that's going to happen that is going to shock the world.
I don't think so. I think Spurs have too tough of a fixture list. I mean, they got to play Arsenal and United, both at home, but like the odds that they're going to win out, which they probably would have to do to catch Chelsea, even if Chelsea collapse against like some of the shitty teams they have left.
Chelsea could potentially lose at Everton, maybe at West Brom, but I mean they have the likes of Middlesbrough, Watford, Sunderland, Southampton on the schedule still.
I mean, they're going to have to drop at least two of those. You drop points in at least two of those, and Spurs are going to have to win out, and I don't see that happening. But I appreciate your confidence, Reed.
It's going to be a resounding 1-1 North London derby, per usual.
Yeah, really.
That's my prediction.
Yeah. Two teams both afraid to score.
Let's talk about a different London team. West Ham playing host to Everton. No shit to be chatted after this match with a good friend of ours. Why was this so boring, Reed?
Oh no, it wasn't boring. It was a good game to watch. Not a good game to not a lot of highlights, but yeah, there's only one Ginger Pele. James Collins walking home into the house, kid on his hip. pulling his keys, wallet, and Romelu Lukaku out of that back pocket. Played very well. I think it was one of the most complete defensive performances that we've seen from West Ham in literally maybe 3 years, I think is the hot take. Very good to see Adrian in goal. That just like I had a very tumultuous emotional weekend. And waking up Saturday morning to see Adrian in goal like kind of brought me some peace. But a lot of it was a game that I think almost everyone went in hoping for a point, and then by the end of it, the vibe was that like West Ham were unlucky not to win that, which is very surprising and very reassuring for next season. Because like if you would have, like I don't know, you know what I mean, like it gave me a lot of confidence in what could be next season.
How high on the table is West Ham going to finish next year?
9th.
Oh, back in the top half.
Like a fan favorite 9th.
Good.
Like you know, always within 2nd to 4th on match of the day, but never first.
I think that Reed finishing 9th in the EPL these days and like $2.50 will get you a cup of coffee somewhere.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyways, one of those teams that remains on the fixture list for both Tottenham and Arsenal, Manchester United. They
went to Turf Moor.
Unbelievably beat Burnley at Turf Moor 2-0. Goals from Anthony Martial and Wayne Rooney. He still exists, apparently. He's still got that Nike deal.
They had a fat new contract extension.
Yeah, I don't understand. Okay, good. United won. I don't know. Not so many groundbreaking things out of this one. That puts them up to 63 points on the season. That's got them in 5th place, 5 ahead of Everton in 6th, and 6 ahead of Arsenal in 7th. Of course, Arsenal does have one game in hand on United, but they do square off later on in the season at the Emirates. They also have to play at Stamford Bridge or at Old Trafford. Where do they play? Or White Hart Lane.
It's at White Hart Lane.
Okay.
You want my hot take on United and Arsenal finishing?
Yeah, let's see.
I think both of them will get Champions League spots.
Oh wow!
I think Liverpool finished 5th.
What about City?
I think City finished 3rd. I think that I'm very confident in that.
But
prediction.
There's only four champions.
Buddy.
Yeah.
So I mean, City and
oh my, yeah. Sorry.
It's City and
Liverpool
Liverpool.
finished 6th.
City
My bad. I
finished
meant
fifth.
Europe. Yeah, fuck.
Oh.
That's a long day.
Okay.
We're gonna edit like half of that out.
Well, I mean, Arsenal
yeah.
actually has a European spot guaranteed already
Well, that's true.
because if Chelsea
not really
beats
what I
us in the
meant,
Premier League, they get an automatic bid to the Europa League. Anyways, whatever. This game doesn't matter. They won. Big fucking whoop. I would have loved for them to lose so that Arsenal could have been, a little bit closer, but not a big deal. The thing that matters, though, is that Liverpool dropped points, all 3 points, to Crystal Palace at Anfield. A Christian Benteke brace doomed the Reds. Jurgen Klopp got to be walking alone. A little bit of a hot take. Crystal Palace has been perhaps the best team in the Premier League over the last, 8 match weeks. They've won 6 of their last 8 games. That's
They're playing so well.
pretty damn remarkable.
Big Sam's football.
Big Sam's getting a contract extension.
No, Big Sam's gonna go manage
Big Sam for England.
for 4
Yeah,
weeks.
Big Sam for England. Come on, get Mark Noble that fucking cap. He goddamn deserves it. No, like
I don't think it's
lest we forget, Big Sam had West Ham in the top 4 at Christmas 2 seasons ago.
I don't think it's physically possible for Reed to talk about Big Sam without also talking about Mark Noble.
No, they're 1 and
I
2.
think it's literally
yeah.
physically impossible.
They're mutually exclusive.
I've never done it, never will. Not mention them in the same breath. I think they've done equal measures for the English game, meaning only a little bit.
Well, you've only done a little bit for this podcast today.
You're right. I am fucking getting dragged along, dude. I'm so tired.
We're going to take a break, guys. When we come back, we'll have another rendition of Ball is Life where we take a look at the Tehran Derby over there in Iran. So until then, stick around.
This is a very low energy pod.
Andrew, does your back hurt because you're really carrying the team today?
Heyo. Do you know what this podcast is going to be called?
What?
Happy Earth Day.
It should be
Something about
happy
Jeb
with
Bush. Give me something about Jeb Bush.
Please clap.
Like,
Please clap.
yeah, please clap. Please clap. Please clap. The most Jeb Bush podcast we've ever done.
Hey, Angie, bring it back in 5.
Hold on. No. I need this to load. It's not.
Hold on, I gotta
Oh, here we go. Okay.
mute me. I'm gonna mute myself.
I think y'all are going to enjoy this. I think it's going to be a fun one because we love derbies here at Point to the Spot. Okay, I'm bringing it back in 5, 4, nice look, Jack. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. This is Andrew Ball with the return of Ball is Life. And today we will be continuing our series of profiles looking at soccer culture in each of the 7 countries affected by Donald Trump. Donald Trump's executive order greatly curbing immigration from those nations. The so-called Muslim ban has impacted the experience of thousands of immigrants and nationals of those 7 countries: Iraq, Iran, Syria, Sudan, Somalia, Libya, and Yemen. Now, as always, this is a soccer podcast, Jack, not a political podcast. And there are issues and discussions here that are much more important than just kicking a ball around a field. But I think it's good that we make an effort here at Point to the Spot to try and humanize and show the texture of some of these cultures that a lot of Americans kind of just, don't give a lot of thought to.
Soccer Save America coming soon.
Soccer Save America is coming soon. So this week, we're going to be continuing our efforts by looking at Iran. And Iran is actually perhaps the strongest country internationally of the 7 nations that we'll be taking a look at. If you have a good memory and can remember back to the 2014 World Cup, Iran qualified under the leadership of former Real Madrid manager Carlos Queiroz, and they're currently ranked 26th in the most recent round of FIFA World Rankings.
Yeah, actually?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, fun fact. But that is not what we'll be talking about today. Today, we'll be looking at the club level in Iran. And the domestic league in Iran, the Persian Gulf Pro League, is the second best club league in all of Asia, as ranked by the Asian Football Confederation, and was regarded as the best such competition in Western Asia. The Pro League was created in 2001 as the first professional league in the country's history. And the National League had existed on and off since 1970, but that was mainly semi-pro and amateur guys. So in 2001 was the first kind of professional National League in Iran. And of all the matches contested in the Pro League, there's one that rises above all others. And that is, and this is going to be me trying to pronounce a lot of names that I may or may not be able to, so bear with me. The Shahrazad, or the Tehran Derby, contested between Persepolis and Istiklal. I think I'm pronouncing that right. If you're an Iranian football fan listening to this podcast, I sincerely apologize in advance for the next 5 minutes. It's considered to be one of the fiercest rivalries in world football. The Tehran derbies are contested at the National Azadi Stadium before over 90,000 fans, with millions more watching throughout the country and globally.
Wow. The
rivalry has been contested since the 1960s, when the teams were known by different names, Shaheen and Taj. Shaheen was considered the most popular team in Iran, kind of the club of the working class, which ran afoul of the Football Federation and the government at the time, led by the Shah, which, if you studied the Cold War, was backed by the U.S. They dissolved Shaheen in 1967, and that club became Persepolis. After the 1979 Iranian Revolution, Taj, which was associated with the Shah, met a similar fate because the new government didn't like the Shah. So they ended Taj, and that became Istiklal, and that means independence in Farsi. Fun fact. There have been 84 matches between the two sides, Istiklal winning 25, Persepolis coming out on top in 20, and there have also been 39 draws. So, shall we look at a couple of the most dramatic games in recent memory, Jack? Jack's nodding his head. We shall. The most hotly contested Tehran Derby is without a doubt the 2000 affair, which was set to be a testy game after star player Mehdi Hasheminesab left Persepolis for Istiklal the previous offseason. Many thought the match was over when Hasheminesab broke a 1-1 deadlock in the 86th minute, but Persepolis' Ali Karimi equalized 3 minutes later to seal a 2-2 draw. But the result was overshadowed by a brawl which broke out after Istiklal keeper Parviz Brumond punched Persepolis striker Payan Rafat in the face, sparking a fight which led to 3 players from both sides being jailed for 3 days. Riots broke out in the city as well, as hooligans destroyed 250 city buses in one of the most explosive derbies in the history of Iranian football.
Wow.
Similar drama, minus the vandalism, took place in 2005. Persepolis was up 2-1 in the 77th minute, thanks to goals from Shays Rezai and Sohrab Entezari, and Istiklal fans began to file out of the stadium, thinking the game was over. But it was not. as Mahmoud Fakri equalized just 6 minutes later. And on the stroke of full time, Piruz Gorbani headed home to give Esteghlal a famous win. I should say, I watched this match on YouTube earlier, or the last 5 minutes. Scenes do not begin to describe it. I know not a word of Farsi, so I had no idea what was going on from the commentary, but I will say it's worth your while to look at it and just see the fans celebrating. Again, scenes don't begin to describe it. It rivals anything you will see around the world. It rivals El Clasico, which is being played today. It was very impressive. I encourage you all to go check it out. So why profile this rivalry? Well, I echo Carlos Quiroz, who I mentioned earlier, is the current national team manager, when he remarked that he was very surprised to see 90,000 to 100,000 fans in the national stadium watching a domestic club match. That's something you see very rarely certainly in Asian soccer, in world soccer. And I think most people outside of Asian football don't really know the strength of this rivalry and how vibrant and passionate it is. So the Tehran Derby, go check it out. The Iranian season just wrapped up, actually, with Persepolis, I believe, winning. And I believe they also won the most recent incarnation of the Tehran Derby. So next time the Persian Gulf Pro League rolls around, you should definitely be checking out this rivalry. And if you have any thoughts on the Tehran Derby or anything else we do here at Ball is Life, as always, tweet at us at point2, the spot with the numeral 2. We love to hear your thoughts. And for now, I will throw it back to Jack and Reed to hear what they have to say.
So I got 2 things on this. One, what is the best league in Asia, power ranking wise?
I was kind of wondering. I assume the Chinese Super League or the South Korean League, but I'm not sure.
Because Australia is technically an Asian country now. They play in the Asian Football Federation. So is it the A League? I don't know. Anyways,
I will Google while you guys discuss.
Not important. But 90,000 people show up to watch this match. You don't get 90,000 people to go to Wembley. But you kind of reminded me of your descriptions of the little spats that they've had, and also the semi-riot-esque things. Kind of remind me of the scenes that we see at the Olympic in South London. Reed, do you think West Ham fans are drawing on those of their Iranian friends?
Working men's club. Got to let out some steam every once in a while. I don't know if they both have the same level of sectarian fervor, but maybe when when United rolled into town at Upton Park last season, there was a little bit of sectarian violence that went on in the streets. So, maybe some mirrors, some analogies.
Are you going to be tuning in next time the Tehran Derby's played?
Probably not. Just mostly because I feel like in Donald Trump's America, if you turn into the Tehran Derby, you get put on a list, and I don't want to be put on a list, so I won't.
I mean,
Andrew, I would love for you to. Because you not only would you be watching the Tehran Derby, you would also be a journalist. So that's kind of I don't think that's how Double Jeopardy works, but I think that's how Double You're Fucked works. So I will not be. And to sum up how I feel about that Ball is Life, fuck Donald Trump.
Soccer save us.
Soccer save us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just want to put a quick plea to Crooked Media. Crooked Media. I have at Soccer Save Us on Twitter already, so you don't have to worry about that. Please buy us out. We would love to join the empire.
They also the Persian Gulf Pro League is a dope name for a domestic league. The Persian Gulf Pro League. That's so sick. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any further thoughts on this. Is there something that really caught your eyes? I mean, you did share it with us.
Yeah, I mean, also, okay. I have found the ranking, Jack. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
So Iran actually is in 4th now. I think they just did a recent reincarnation April 1st, and Wikipedia has not yet been updated. So, okay, but you want to hear it?
Yeah.
South Korea 1, United Arab Emirates 2, Saudi Arabia 3. Australia is in 8th, China is in 7th. Iraq, who we discussed last Ball's Life, is 10th.
The UAE is 2nd. That's super surprising to me.
I think oil money
is doing a lot. Isn't Xavi playing in the UAE.
I'd be in Qatar, but yeah, kind of same
Yeah, I think he's in Qatar.
petrol league.
They should just like merge they should like play one another like Champions League style, and they should call it the Petrol Champions League.
Oh my god.
On that note,
The BP.
Anyways,
Yeah.
guys, that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you all very much for listening. You can find us all on the social, as Reed likes to refer to it. Reed, where can they find you on Twitter?
I don't like to refer to it as a social. Like that's a you thing. Okay, this is a character assassination, and with the new slander laws that are coming in Donald Trump's America, I'm gonna see you in court, and you guys can see me on Twitter at that one kid Reed.
Point to the spa drinking game every time Reed says Donald Trump's America. Angie, where can they find you?
if this is Donald Trump's America listening to this pod to try and find me, you can find me at Actual Jack Kelly. If not, if the NSA is not listening, at Andrew Ball, BAHL.
Guys, you can find me at actual Jack Kelly. I am actually Jack Kelly after all. Make sure you're following the show at Point to the Spot with the number 2. Tweet us there. The NSA agents listening in, please follow us. We love the support.
Yeah. NSA agents listening in, we would love a 5-star rating on iTunes. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell an NSA agent to listen
Like
to
hit
the
up the
pod.
defense contractors. We could use some sponsorship.
Yeah, at FBI on Twitter. Like they're pretty fun Twitter account. You can at us and the FBI just to save the FBI some like work.
Speaking of reviews, though, if you guys did enjoy the show, we would love it if you went over to iTunes and left us a review with your honest thoughts, whether it's happy or sad. We always like feedback from everyone. Don't forget to follow our partners, American EPL Thoughts. You can find them online at AmericanEPLThoughts.com and online at American EPL. I think that's going to do it for us. The midweek, there's some Premier League action that goes on, and I don't know. We always find something to talk about. So until then, take care, guys. Have a great start to the week.